Hello there, family. How are you doing? Welcome to Rebuilding After Trauma. Welcome. Come on in, guys. Let's get started. Let's talk about tonight's conversation where we are talking about all the things after trauma. We're talking about getting in line. We are talking about getting rid of things. We're talking about all the things that we need to talk about after trauma, so then that way we can continue on our healing journey. We can become the best us that we can be. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm your girl, Kiana Williams. I am a survivor of trauma. I am a person, I laugh. Let me just say this. I laugh because it wasn't always funny for me. It was truly a serious thing, and it is a serious thing. But since I'm no longer living in that, I feel so much relief. Now that I am free from that trauma, not just the real life trauma that I was in, the trauma in my mind, the feeling in my body, y'all. When I say your girl has been delivered, your girl has been delivered. When I say that your girl has been delivered, your girl has been delivered. And I am super proud of myself. I'm loving myself in this season that I'm in. And the season only continues to bring greatness. Go on forward. We're on moving forward. So let's talk about tonight's conversation, guys. Let's get started talking about it. And I was thinking earlier about when I thought that something was for me and it wasn't. Have you all had that time before? You ever wanted something so bad, you just knew it was for you until you knew it wasn't? And by the time you realized that that thing that you wanted so bad was not for you, it was already in play. You've already been, I don't want to say damaged, but you've already been affected by that particular thing that you wanted so much, right? And that's how we are a lot of times. When we want something, we want something. And if you are someone that is persistent, you are someone that believes in the process and loves something, you're very passionate. If you're a very passionate person, if you know that you want something, you want it. And you are that type of person that if you believe that something is for you, you are willing to go to bat for that particular thing. And that's how I felt, guys, in the beginning. I felt a lot of times that, oh, you know what, this marriage that I'm in, the marriage that I'm in, I wanted that so bad. I'm going to just be honest with you guys. I could visualize myself and my ex together. I just knew it was going to happen. That's how much I wanted it. And a lot of times we want things so bad because we are used to a particular thing. It doesn't mean that it's right for us, guys. It means that it's familiar. We have our mind made up and it's comfortable, right? And those things can lead us down the wrong road if we are unhealed. And that's exactly where I came from. It was just a very much unhealthy place. But I had to realize after I was saved out of that relationship, I had to realize what was in me that I allowed myself to stay there. You hear what I said? I stayed in that particular place. Not that I made this person treat me that way. I'm not saying that. We don't make people do anything to us, and nor can anyone make us do anything as well. It's a choice, right? And if you are not in a healthy place, you will feel like you don't have a choice. You feel like, okay, this is it for me. I must be here. This is right for me. I chose this. I want to stick with it, and this has to be right. It has to get better. But we have to get to reality, and I had to get to reality as well, and get in alignment with what was needed for me to be in a better place. And I'm glad that I got there, and I'm here to talk with you all about that, about the truth, about a particular truth. And it's truly important that we be honest with ourselves, because in order to get in alignment, in the correct alignment, you have to be aware. Awareness brings alignment. I had a conversation the other day about having a vehicle, and you're used to driving the same vehicle, but one day you get in that car and you start driving down the road and you realize that the car is drifting either to the right, drifting over to the left. What that means that something is off, right? But if you are ignoring the signs, that drifting feels like it's normal. And what you would do when it's drifting off to the right or to the left, you'll pull the vehicle back into place, which you should. But you'll get used to it so much it feels like there's nothing wrong. But it actually does mean something is wrong. It just means that you have ignored the signs. And that's how we are in our life. There are signs that we should get out of that particular situation, but because we ignore the signs, or we are not even aware of what the signs are, we are in bad relationships, we're in bad situations, and that has to change. And how can it change? You ask yourself, how can I get to a better place if I don't even know what is better? Right? How can I do that? How can I get in a better place if I don't even know what the better place is? Remember, I talked about awareness. Well, that is important. God will hold you. Have people around you that hold you. Have healthy relationships. Think about what you're doing. And I can go back and talk about myself and my life, and you can too as well if you're in your journey of healing as well. You can think about situations where you made a bad decision, and you didn't just make that decision once. You made it repeatedly, over and over again, and you're trying to figure out, why am I getting the same outcome? Why isn't this negative reaction getting a positive outcome? Do you hear what I'm saying? Why isn't this negative reaction getting a positive outcome? You cannot get a positive outcome from a negative reaction. We have to put two and two together. That becomes aware. So once we become aware of who we are and what we're doing, then we start to be able to move into the right position. We will get correctly positioned. And that's what we have to do. Being aligned. And that is going to feel different in the beginning. Let me just make that clear, guys. Moving from that comfort zone that you were in and getting into a new position is going to feel uncomfortable. Why? Because you're so used to being comfortable in the wrong place. You were so comfortable with being negative. You were comfortable with being a fixer. You were comfortable in doing something that you had no business doing, right? We try to be God. We try to fix people. We try to, oh, you know what, they have a lot of potential, so I'm going to stick with them. Everybody in this world has potential to do something. Let me just make that clear, okay? Each and every one of you up here, you all have potential to do great things. And some of you are out here doing great things. Some of you are not so much. So why? We have to ask ourselves, why are we not doing that? And we can only answer that question. Why am I being a repeated offender of this particular thing? You have to ask yourself that. And interrogating yourself is not a bad thing. That's how we get to a better place in life, when we ask ourselves those serious questions. Why do we continue to do that? And then we'll get to the answer. I had to ask myself that. Why was I continuing to be attracted to things that were unhealthy for me? I had to go all the way back to where I can remember. It was when I was molested. It was when I was abandoned. It was when I felt like I was unloved. I felt like no one spoke up for me. I felt like I was hopeless and helpless. And I was still living in that same situation as an adult. And I had to realize that I was no longer that. At that time in my life, I was that. At that time in my life, I was that. Absolutely. So there was times I felt like that, and it was true. As a child should be protected. They should be protected by people that are around them. They should not have to deal with certain things. So at that time in my life, I was hopeless and helpless, and I was abandoned. But now, as an adult, that is not true. Why? Because I now get to choose who I conversate with. I get to choose my locations, where I go, where I worship, where I work. I decide. I have the decision of choosing that. And then also I know that who I belong to, okay? That is something that should be so solid in your life. As a child, you're young, you don't understand those things. Your mind has not developed. So when I got a chance to understand who I was and really appreciate me and love on me, that's important as well. Get in alignment with who you are. Love yourself unconditionally. If you start to love yourself unconditionally, you will show up differently. Let me tell you this first and foremost. If you love yourself truly, no one can come in your circle, in your life, and make you feel less than. You would not even go in someone else's circle and attempt that either. Why? Because you feel so confident in yourself. There's no way in the world you're gonna eat. It's gonna be beneath you, right? It's gonna be. It's truly in this place in my life. It is truly beneath me to even entertain anything that is less than. I don't have time for that because that's not me. Now, do I experience that? Absolutely. We all are going to experience that. That's life. But you do not have to address it. Why? Because if you know who you are, you know where you're going, you know who you belong to, you don't have to worry about those minor things. Right. And as a woman that has grown, I realize who I am, and so should you as well. How can you keep yourself grounded in that particular place? You have to speak life on in your life, in your family's life, your children's life, whoever you love. If you don't love anyone, you definitely need some help. But nevertheless, I know you do. You do love someone. So pour into yourself just like you would pour into someone else. You would give them so much grace and love and tell them how much of an inspiration they are and how far they can go and why they don't deserve to treat themselves that way and all the great things. Pour that same thing into you. I said it. Yes. Pour those same words into yourself. We need that. We need to provide ourselves with that same love, respect, grace, mercy, all the things. Because if we cannot give that to ourselves, regardless of how much we want to do it for someone else, it would not be right. It would not be sufficient because someone can't truly love us if we don't even love ourselves. Okay? You have to understand that because you won't even take love that is meant for you because you're not loving yourself and you're used to chaos or you're used to a certain comfort that is not healthy for you. So we're going to work on getting aligned. That is truly important. We need personal connections, okay? Now, I'm not talking about people that was always in your past circle. You need to have people that are truly intentional with you. Someone who respects you, someone who loves you, someone who honors you. Okay? And if you don't know what that means, I'm going to give you some of those. Someone who checks on you. And you need someone to check the boxes. Like, what's good for me? Now, it may not be good for you. But you have to understand what you are, what you want, and who are you? And then you can then have an alignment about the people who should be in your circle. Are you someone who likes to be checked on? If you are you someone who loves to be cared for, words of affirmation, if you are someone who likes quality time, what are the things that are important to you? What's important to me is respect. I need respect, and I am someone who I'm a loyal person. I am a very loyal person. Even at times when I find out you aren't loyal to me, now your girl is not perfect. I am not saying that. Do not put words in my mouth because I did not say I was perfect. But what I did say is that when I ride for you, I ride for you. When I know you ride for me, I will ride for you the same way. When I know that you don't ride for me, I just will kind of just back off, and I'm okay with that. But when I feel disrespected, oh, it's a different thing. Your girl won't get ratchet, but you know what I mean? I mean, we ain't cool like that no more, okay? Because I love you and I forgive you, but I have to protect who I am. There's two different things. And we all have heard the many of conversations, guys, about reconciliation. You know what I mean? You have to forgive. And some people feel like if you forgive, you have to reconcile. Some people feel like you forgive and you don't have to reconcile. I'm on this side. I don't have to reconcile. I forgive you and I don't have to reconcile. I learned that from my God. I learned that from my Lord. Why? Okay, let's go back to the beginning of the Bible real quick. Let me take you to the church real quick. Adam and Eve was in the Garden of Eden, and the Lord gave them boundaries, and they did not respect the Lord. Would he say, oh, depart from here? And he still loved them. But they was no longer welcome in the Garden of Eden. That means that the Lord has boundaries. And if he say what he say and you disrespect what he say, okay, get on out of here. I still love you, but you just can't come over here anymore. You know what I mean? You understand what I mean? So exactly, respect, trust, honesty, and loyalty is what makes a relationship work. A friendship and a relationship work. A circle of trust, forgive, and forget. So exactly. And there's certain things that you can't forgive. You cannot hold. You should forgive everything. Um, you should forgive everything. But when someone does a particular thing to you, you make that choice. Will you allow them in your close circle, or will you still deal with them, but they have to, be more of an associate? Or if someone does something that's too bad, we all have our boundaries. I ain't messing with you no more. We done. I hope you sit at somebody's table. I wish you the best. I wish you growth. I wish you love. I wish you all the great things, but just not at the table where I'm sitting at. Period. That's how it is. That's being honest. That's being respectful. Okay, that's not being phony or fake. Because if you don't be honest with yourself, it will cause you to have some ill will in you, and you will not be a person that projects love and authenticity. You won't be a person who gives off that great aura. Okay, do not allow anyone to steal your joy because you do not live up to their standards. If your standard is that, okay, you can crap on me, you can do whatever you want to me, and I forgive you, and I'm still going to treat you the same. I'm going to let you in my circle. I'm going to let you in my house. I'm going to let you sit at the table. That's you. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but for me and mine, that won't be happening, okay? So know your boundaries and respect others. And that's something about a friendship as well. We'll talk about that another day, okay? So learn how to build your circle. The people who are in have the same mindset or in line with you. For me myself, I'm a licensed real estate agent. I have friends that in the mental health background. I have people that are in law enforcement backgrounds. People are doctors. I have different people in my circle, okay, and that just does different things. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we respect each other. Why? Because if you don't respect each other, what are we doing? I need to learn. If you're my friend, I need you to understand what respect means to me, and I need to understand what respect means to you. I need to respect who you are. Period. Stop trying to make people. Let me hit that point. Stop trying to make people out to be someone that they are not, okay? Please stop doing that. Let people be people. Let us be us. Let everyone do their thing. Once they show you who they are, then you put them in that category. This is your football field. Your life is your field, right? You're the coach, right? I gave my son this analogy. You are the coach on your team. God is the field, right? And you're the coach on your team. You decide what player plays the best position, right? Who you decide what player plays the best position. What position does that player need to play? Everybody can't be the quarterback. Everybody can't be the quarterback. Everyone cannot run. Okay, they don't have that energy to run. They don't have that. Everyone can't play the same position. Why? Because you won't have a winning team. You need a winning team. Sometimes you have to put people on the bench, right? Why? Exactly. So you have to understand where our people should be. That coach that is coaching that team is not worrying about how the other teams are handling theirs. That coach has a reason and a great purpose, and they're staying focused, right? So you have to decide, where does this player go in my team? Should they be in this position, or should I set them on the bench? And if a person continues to warm the bench up for so long, what's going to happen to them? They become an invaluable player. They are no longer valuable anymore. So what happens? They get traded. They get traded to a different team because another team sees that person as valuable, while the team that they were on said, you know what, we no longer need you. This is not right for you. We're not working. And that's how we should be. And it's okay. Because guess what? That coach still loves that player that they put on the bench or they traded, but just not over here. You're not useful over here. Moving on. So know your players, okay? Know your players, so then that way you can get out of that misalignment and you can know where you are. You will be in a better place when you are aligned. You will be in a better place when you have a healthier mind. You will be in a better place once you know who you are. You will, and you will, okay? And here's the truth about what a lot of people don't think. You feel your peace and still feel afraid. You do. You absolutely do. 100%. Absolutely. And also, let me tell you this. That doesn't mean that it's wrong how you feel. That might actually mean that it's right. Your feelings shouldn't drive you, but you should pay attention to your feelings. They're very important, okay? And not everything that is blocked is meant to be forced. Not everything that is blocked is meant to be forced. If you continue to try something over and over again and it's just not working, you just like, I'm gonna try it again, maybe you should reroute that thing. Maybe you should try a different avenue, okay? Maybe that is just not for you. That is a sign. Some things are blocked because they're not meant for you, because there's something greater. A lot of times when we are hurt, we project that pain. We project negativity. We project hatred. We project anger. We like to be the author of confusion because we have something in us that is not healthy. Listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying. A lot of times 9 times out of 10, when we give a lot of negativity, y'all, it's because we're hurting. And that pain has started to grow roots in us. And we feel like we are so connected to that negative thing that we can't even give flowers. We can't even show love because we have been hurt so much that we have became comfortable in that space where we can't even change. The devil is a liar. Okay? You can pull out those roots. Will it take time? Absolutely it can, but you can and you will improve. I call it and I claim it for you. You can and you will improve, but it's going to take you to do the work. Never allow someone else to tell you that you cannot change. The devil is a liar. So you do have the ability to change your life for the better, but it's going to take you to understand that you have a problem becoming aware. And that's the first step to becoming a better person. That is the first step to becoming a better person. So I want to close you off with this. Alignment will ask you to let go. That's what alignment does. It's going to ask you to let go of the old you. So the things that look good, you thought was good, it's going to have you to let it go. But don't be afraid. You will receive more than you let go when it's something that is not in alignment with you. So what that means, it will not be easy, but I can guarantee you, y'all, it's worth it. It will not be easy, but it will be worth it. So I see you all on next time. Next time I see you all is Friday on live. And I want to just tell you all, if you can find it in your heart to love you unconditionally, do that. Peel away the negative pieces. Get you a journal so you can document how you feel. Write down the nasty of the nasty. Write down all the negative things that you feel that you can think of about anyone today. I'm going to challenge you all right now tonight. Anything negative that you can think of, write it down right now. You're going to write all those negative things down on a particular paper. Right? Just negative things. Then once you release it, you can't come up with anything else negative. Now you're going to go to another sheet where you're going to write down the positive. I'm challenging you. Because I know that you got it going on. I know that you're greater. I know that you're better. I know that you are. The ones who want to be. Write all those positive things down. Then you're going to burn, trash, cut it up, that negative side. And that's going to be the death of the part of you that was no longer healthy. You're cutting off the roots. You're cutting off those weeds so then that way the flowers can grow. So thank you all so much for spending your time with me. On my channel, we're talking about rebuilding after trauma. Doesn't matter what type of trauma it is. We are rebuilding off of it and we're becoming the better us. And I will see you all on Friday for my next live. But take a look at my previous videos. See you guys. Love y'all. Until next time, stay healthy, stay loved, and healed along the way. Peace.